We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
Khan, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, wa abba ball. So, in my studies, I came across this, and I wanted to share it so that it edified the body of Yahweh Shai, the elect of Israel. All right. So in Hebrew, always is the wad, the yad, the yad. Let me get it. So the word there for always is dam yad, dam yad, dam yad. All right, dam yad. And it made me think of the wa in the Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. It tells you that the elect would have the wa, which makes them exempt from judgment. All right, and part of that is that we would always be faithful. All right, and they use this word in Latin in the Marine Corps. Okay, so I'm going to pull this word up in Spanish, okay, because I look up a couple languages every morning, and always stood out to me this morning in Spanish because it says
Siempre.
Siempre, which it made me think of the Marine slogan, all right, Siempre Fry. Marine slogan. All right. Simplify or Semperfi. It says, which is Latin, showing you that their military is a Roman legions of Roman legions. It says, for always faithful. It's the motto of the United States Marine Corps. Represents their unwavering commitment to their fellow Marines and their country. So I just wanted to show through their slogan that this is a religion, all right, that they have set up. The military is a religion, a false religion, which they brainwash you into being always faithful to this country and its slogan of Latin, which shows you, once again, this is Rome reincarnated. All right. Now, all these different institutions in America are different religions. All right. There are different religions, whether it's the college, whether it's the hospitals, whether it's the schooling system, whether it's prison, whether it's the military, whether it's whatever system is set up here, the institutions that are set up in America, they're false religions of the heathen. All right. And you pretty much, even a job, when you go into a job, you're not allowed to even speak of what you believe in, all right, or what you represent, because you got to take on their religion. Even like at Walmart, the blue vest, that's actually part of a ritual that they do in secret societies like Freemasonry. All right. So these are different religions that are set up to lead our people astray. All right. Which the military, there's a lot of Jake in the military that are so called patriotic, which is a false religion of the heathen. All right. So now going into these false religions, the brother's going to read, you want to grab that?
Which one?
Letter of Jeremiah.
Yeah, I got that.
And
Verse 1?
yeah, just go ahead and get that. That's going into these heathens' idols, all right, and how they are nothing. Just like the military, all right. When you see these mass shootings being done by these soldiers, they're losing it. They're possessed. They're demon possessed. They're having psychosis, outbursts because of the wickedness of America. All right, America is in gross darkness, and we're going to start seeing the people act out violently because that's the lowest level of communication. And these people are at the lowest level of learning or understanding under Esau Edom, the so called white man, the wicked. All right, go ahead.
Con. The letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 1, a copy of an epistle which Jeremy sent unto them which were to be led captives into Babylon by the king of the Babylonians.
Right, which Jeremy is Jeremiah, and he prophesied of the Israelites going into captivity under Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
To certify them as it was commanded him of power,
Mm-hmm.
because of the sins which ye have committed before power, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar,
Yeah, which is Nebuchadnezzar.
king of the Babylonians.
Right.
So when ye be come unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations, and after that I will bring you away peaceably from thence.
Which you could read about that in Ezra. All right. That they came back out of the land of Babylon, out of captivity under the Persians. All right. And when you read about that, you'll go into how we went back into the land and start building it up, and the heathen started coming against us. You had Israelites that went against the knowledge, and they followed after the heathen's god. Then the Lord raised in the book of Judges, He raised up judges to redeem us. But it was always Israel's iniquity that they would always go off after the heathen's idols, and that's what's about to happen right now in these last days. The idol is the implantable microchip, and Jacob, all right, the unbelieving Israelite, is going to accept that device being deceived, and they're going to be destroyed in that unbelief, all right, because we've been warning them. It's evident in the right in front of everybody's eyes. You see, they're bringing out the legislation for the implantable microchip, which will condemn you, all right, if you accept it. Now, they're going to use the judicial system to enforce it. All right, which this is why Trump was getting rid of judges, because he wants certain judges that are going to enforce what he says, which he's going to pretty much try to condemn the hopeful elect for the prophecies. All right, and that's why you see him talking about anti-Semitic behavior. It's because they're about to persecute us for telling the truth. All right, this truth has made us an enemy to this world, and that's because this world is built on lies. All right, that's why the whole government is now a bunch of actors, from Trump to this female judge that he assigned, to Hogan, to now he had the Triple H in there. He has, you know what I'm saying? It's a big old joke, this government that is the Edomites' kingdom, America. All right, and their shame is being revealed every day. Go ahead, Yukon.
Con. This is a letter of Jeremiah. This is chapter 1, verse
Yeah.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Now shall ye see in Babylon powers of silver.
Gods, just
Huh?
gods.
Oh, yeah, Babylon. Yeah. See, in Babylon, gods of silver and of gold and of wood, borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear.
Right. So these heathen, right, they had different idols which they would display, and when they would conquer another nation, they would worship themselves with these idols, like Nebuchadnezzar when he built the golden statue of himself and said you have to bow down and worship it, but the three holy children of Israel did not. All right, go ahead.
Con. Beware, therefore, that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye and of them, when ye see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping them.
But you got Jake that worship America and its military,
Mhm.
right? They think that America is safe because they got a strong military.
Mhm.
It says in Isaiah 33 and no, it's 31 and 1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh." Which, once again, the patriotism that they teach you in the world is a false religion. All right. George Washington, yesterday, August 7th, in 1782, he's the one that created the first called Badge of Military Merit, but is now known as the Purple Heart. It says George Washington orders the creation of the Badge of Military Merit to honor soldiers wounded in battle. It is later renamed to the more poetic Purple Heart. Why a poetic name like Purple Heart? Because it was to entice you to want to get one of these, and the only way you could get one is being wounded or killed in battle. See, so it's a false religion, and this is one of the witches of that religion. See, and you can see it in that movie Shooter, when Danny Glover is talking to Marky Mark. All right, he tries to offer him a medal, right? When he keeps denying him in that movie, he says, "Look," and it's a certain kind of medal,
Mhm.
and he says, "Your father had one of these." Why? Because they were triggering that witchcraft they have on him of looking at these medals, right, as something of honor. Just like Mike Tyson, he's seen that world champion bout as something to be worshipped and something to be pursued, right? But what did he say about his bouts at the end of the day? They are nothing. In that movie Shooter, he showed that those medals don't mean shit. He had no brotherhood in the military, you know? And I remember one of the brothers, his dad was in the military, and he told us the saying that they repeated was in the military, in the Marine, that you could trust me with your life, but don't trust me with your wife. That's not a loyal brotherhood, but it's a false religion. All right. And really, once again, if you look up that word psychosis, you have to be in a psychosis to actually believe this shit. All right. Like going into a battle that's not even yours and being wounded and receiving a piece of metal for the exchange of a leg or your mind's peace is equal. You're fooling yourself. That's the prosperity of fools. Go ahead.
Okay. What was I on? Five or
Uh,
six?
I think you were on. Let's see, 5.
So I'll go to six.
Go ahead and read 5.
Okay, Con. This is again the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye and of them when ye see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping them.
Mm-hmm.
But say ye in your hearts, O Lord, power Yahweh,
Yeah.
we must worship thee, for my angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls. As for their tongue, it is polished by the workman, and they themselves are gilded and laid over with silver, yet are they but false and cannot speak.
Right. Talking about these idols like Nebuchadnezzar's statue of himself. Right. He said you got to bow down and worship it, but this thing don't even speak. Right. And that's what they're gonna do with that chip. Make you bow down and worship it through deception. All right. Go ahead.
If I could say something, it makes me think because back in the days when in the service they had a different philosophy. It seems like because they were more they were men of principle, But through the time up to now, it's got more wicked in their philosophy, where now they're even doing different things because before.
Well, it says the devil makes himself into an angel of light.
Yeah.
And really, all that military was witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
From it's called a cadence, where they go marching and they're singing a song.
Mm-hmm.
All these things have roots back into witchcraft. The balding the head, what does that go back to? Egypt. The shaving the beard, Egyptian, right? So they act as if they were angels of light, but really we know that the military of Esau, the so-called white man, is really just a meat grinder.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were talking about sending these U.S. soldiers into that land of Gaza to clear it out, pretty much just to murder everybody inside that land.
Mm-hmm.
See, because what do they make them? They're pretty much just murderers, but they cover them with light, saying, "Oh, they're building communities, they're doing all this shit," but really they're just murderers for hire.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the Constitution with these soldiers. They used to believe in the Constitution, and now they're doing so many things against the Constitution, breaking the the what do you call it, the rules and stuff. And now like you said, they're just like I did what they told me to do.
And that's
Instead
what
of
they were saying back then. And that's why these, let me get it. I'll grab it. This is what the Lord says about the military of Esau. He said, the Lord says, death to him. Jeremiah 50 and verse, right here, it says, Jeremiah 50 and 35, and I'm going to read it in the GNT. The Lord says, death to Babylonia, which America is now the Babylon the Great it prophesies about. Death to its people, to its rulers, to its men of wisdom. Death to its lying prophets, what fools they are. Death to its soldiers, how terrified they are. And we know they're terrified. I know for a fact. With all these, they just had 2 mass shootings on 2 of the bases in America. You're going to have more of that. All right. The movie Exorcism is a showing of possession happening on military bases and to the families because they were working with witchcraft. All right. That whole military thing is built as a false religion. All right. Patriotism is a false religion. All right. It says, destroy its horses and chariots, death to its hired soldiers, like their ICE soldiers that they're hiring. They're giving them sign-on bonuses. They're hiring them as bounty hunters, right? What do you say? Death to its hired soldiers, how weak they are. Destroy its treasures, plunder and loot. bring a drought on its land and dry up its rivers, and that's going to be done through the nuclear missile. Babylonia is a land of terrifying idols, like your so called white Jesus. It says that have made fools of the people. So the people today are in a psychosis. Look up the word, I'll look it up for you. Psychosis meaning. It says psychosis refers to a collection.
According to National Institute of Mental Health, National Institutes of Health, psychosis refers to a collection of symptoms that affect the mind, where there has been some loss of contact with reality. During an episode of psychosis, a person's thoughts and perceptions are disrupted, and they may have difficulty recognizing what is real and what is not.
See, they can't discern between what is real and what is not. That's a psychosis. And that's what they're doing right now with this so-called American dream. Your leadership is telling you there's no room for you. You can't afford to live in this country no more. And if you don't deport, they're going to deport you. But now it's like the place of Gaza where they're shutting down the borders, like the border between Mexico and America, because they're not going to let you leave. Their intentions is to pretty much put us in a barrel and shoot us down. All right. One of the politicians, I have it saved in my phone. All right. They use the word. What is it called? The word is colded, I think it is. And when I looked that word up, it meant the word colded. I believe it was pretty much boiling frogs. All right, colded, I believe it was. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Because that word, it shows you that they're intentionally destroying the American people. And
young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts in family court. They need to understand that enough is enough, and that the D.C. Council has to repeal some of these absurd ordinances and laws that they've had passed that do nothing to protect the people of this city and of this district. Young people are coddled, and they don't.
The word coddled, it says, meaning of coddled. It says to treat in an indulgent or overprotective way. It says cook an egg, or the idiom that they use, or the metaphor where they talk about cooking a frog. You cook them slow, and then when it gets hot, they're already, they get killed without knowing it. That's what it's talking about. It says cook an egg in water below boiling point. See? So it's just like a hot tub, long enough to get you comfortable, and now they're ready to cook you. Which they have it in their heart, the elite, to actually have nuclear missiles destroy this place. This is the Lord's intention. All right? The Lord said, good or evil, it's the Lord that did it. So the Lord has these Edomites with pretty much murder in their heart for the Israelite. And the Lord is for the elect. The 2/3 that reject the truth, they're going to learn this truth by pain. All right? Go ahead, Jacob.
And taking gold.
Call it out.
This is a letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 9. And taking gold, as it were, for a virgin that loveth to go gay.
Which that meant to be happy.
Okay. They make crowns for the head of their powers.
Right, for
gods,
Right, for the heads of their gods. So they got these golden heads, and then they put a golden crown on top of these statues, right? Like Nebuchadnezzar, he had a whole statue made out of gold. All right? So the Lord, he allows these heathen to set these up, being persuaded by demons. So when Israelites follow these false idols like these Caesar Borgias, Or like the Roman Catholic, they like to wear the rosaries or the crucifixions, right? They think that there's some kind of power in these things. They're fooling themselves. All right, there's no power in it. It can't even save itself. All right, just like these Arabs that are being destroyed in Gaza. Where is their God Allah? Why isn't He fighting for them? Right? Where is their brotherhood in the false religion of Islam? Their brothers don't even fight for them. And Esau, this is revealing him as the serpent, the devil, the sword in the Lord's left hand. Because what is he doing? He's not fulfilling the prophecies that would take place when the Israelites go back into that land. He's fulfilling the prophecies of being the Edomites in these last days, coming down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. Go ahead, Yoko.
Says, letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 10. Sometimes also the priests convey from their gods gold and silver and bestow it upon themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, they will give thereof to the common harlots and deck them as men with garments, being gods of silver and gods of gold and wood.
Right, which is a statue. The underneath is wood covered with gold or silver. And they act like this thing can save them. Right? Or like these heathen, they got these bunkers. Right? Like that's going to save you. Right? Which they're not considering. The Lord is controlling everything. This is why the Lord is going to have you in derision. He's mocking you. All right? It tells you in Isaiah 10 and verse 15, it says, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth it therewith, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. See? So everything man does, the Lord's in control of it. All right? He's the one that's either doing it on the right hand or the left hand. It says, let me grab that. Good or evil happen in a city. KJV, Amos 3 and 6. It says, Amos 3 and 6, shall a trumpet be blown? So the prophets, who raised us up? The Lord did. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua by His Holy Spirit. In the city, and the people not be afraid. Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh had not done it? See, so who's moving Esau? The Lord is. Who's moving the elect on the right hand side? The Lord is. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, by the Holy Spirit on the right hand, and by demonic spirits on the left hand. All right, and that's why they got you in a form of witchcraft in these militaries of so-called having faith in that system, or even in the prison system. You get a lot of men that are institutionalized, and they trust in that system of feeding them, of clothing them, of sheltering them, right? Because it's every day repeated, right? So in their mind, that's their God, that's their idol, right? Just like the college system, right? They think that's why you're seeing all these people have fits because they can't find a job. They're like, I got a master's degree. Or like Kevin Samuels used to point out, these women, when they can't get a man, but I got a PhD, but that don't get you what you require. It doesn't get you what you require. It's an illusion. Just like money, right? The love of money is the root of all evil, and you really can't buy happiness, right? You can't buy peace with it. You can't buy time with it, All right? You can't buy salvation with it. You can't get the Holy Spirit through money. See? So the thing is, the Lord created two things, one against another, all right? Good against evil. And the Israelites, which are of the election, being selected for salvation, which was done predestined, all right, they're the good, trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and then the wicked is that so-called white man, the red devil, that has the whole world confederate against us. All right? Go ahead.
The letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 12. Yet cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moth, though they be covered with purple raiment?
Right? Especially like in the Roman Catholic Church, they show you these statues of false images, right? And they'll cover them with royal robes. They're made out of gold, the crown, right? But if there was an earthquake, what happens? That whole thing falls down and becomes trash. Can't save itself. And that's what the Lord's showing. Look at the flooding. Look at the earthquakes. Look at the landslides that are happening all over the world. The Lord is showing you all your idols are false. All right? There is no God for the heathen. Really, we're your God. The Israelite is your God. But see, you're over here worshiping false idols instead of truly serving us like you ought to. And that's why for 1,000 years you're going to be re-educated under us in slavery. After the fall of Edom's kingdom, Babylon, Lucifer, which means light bearer, everybody wanted to come to America. Why? Because the Israelites are here. When we go back to the land, everybody will want to go back to the promised land. Why? Because we will be there with the answers. All right? Go ahead.
They wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple when there is much upon them.
Right? What happens when like I said, an earthquake and the roof falls in on them? Do they save themselves? Do they save their congregation, these idols? Do they come alive and stop the falling roof? No, right? Because if that was the case, all these things that are happening in these countries that are so-called Christian or Buddhist or Hindu, you have these statues. Why can't they save you? Right? You have these false names like Jesus Christ. Why can't they save you, Christian? Huh? Why isn't Jesus Christ saving you from Donald Trump? See, because all these, they're false idols. There's no salvation in them. All right? Go ahead.
And he that cannot put to death one that offendeth him holdeth a scepter as though he were a judge of the country.
Right. Some people worship baby Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So these are fools, right? These idols that they worship, they can't even kill nobody in judgment that offends them. We got a Caesar Borgia picture, and if I step on it, nothing's gonna happen to me. You know, nothing. So it can't save itself. How could it save you? That's why Jake is going to be destroyed for a lack of knowledge, them that worship these false idols. How can it save you when it can't save itself? Right? Which I could pull a Caesar Borgia picture right now on this phone and spit on it, hit it, whatever I want to do to it, nothing's going to happen to me. See? But we've seen men mock the name of the Lord and be destroyed or be confounded. Like these men that come against the Lord and they end up dying, they end up going to prison. All right? So there's power in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the Father, Bahasham, the Paleo Hebrew, meaning in the name, Yahushai, which is the Son. Yahweh is the Father, Yahushai is the Son. All right? Go ahead, Jacob.
This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 15. He hath also in his right hand a dagger and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves.
Right? right? Like even these Americans, they got all these idols. Like Trump, he wants to reestablish having these Edomite statues put up because they like the images of them remembering themselves destroying our people. But those images are not going to save you from slavery. Those images are not going to save your kingdom from being destroyed by nuclear missiles. See, the idols of these heathen are nothing. So that means these people are nothing because their faith is nothing. See, so we have nothing to fear. We fear the Lord, and there is nothing else to fear. We fear Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai in that order. Go ahead.
This is a letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 16, whereby they are known not to be gods, therefore fear them not.
Mm-hmm.
For like as a vessel that a man useth is nothing worth when it is broken, even so it is with their gods when they be set up in the temple, their eyes be full of dust through the feet of them that come in.
Right, the feet that people go in there, these Roman Catholics, they'll go in there and kiss the feet of these statues, and they get covered by the dust of the ones that go in there to worship them. And the same one that worships them is the same one that has to wipe them down. Why? Because of dust. They can't even, protect itself from dust. Something so simple. See? So this shows you that their God is nothing. If it can't protect them against dust, how is it going to protect them against 200 million nuclear missiles? How's it going to protect them against famine? How's it going to protect them against deception? You see, so these idols of the heathen have no power. Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 18. And as the doors are made sure on every side upon him that offendeth the king, as being committed to suffer death, even so the priests make fast their temples with doors, with locks and bars, lest their gods be spoiled with robbers.
Right. Can't even save themselves from being stolen. So how are you praying to them to make sure you have a safe journey? Right? You're hoping that this thing saves you from a thief, and it might get stolen itself. You got a cross hanging from your rearview mirror, thinking it's gonna bless your way, but your car gets stolen on the way. You see what I'm saying? It's false idols. Just like the MOTB. What did you say was gonna happen to them? They were gonna get sick.
Oh yeah, boils,
right?
cancer.
That's what the scriptures say. Mm-hmm. They're gonna promise you life, and it's gonna condemn you, and you should know better. Just like right now, I can see it while we're sitting here. You see this light blinking, these little glitches in the lights. Why would you trust their system when it's always failing? Yep. Right? Look at the airplanes. They're being shut down because of the glitches in the system. Right? Mm-hmm. 911, overwhelmed with calls. Blackout, have no calls. Right? Why are you putting your faith in these things? Because you've been taught to. That's literally what it is. We were taught these things, and it started with the heathen teaching our forefathers and them passing it down, which now we're supposed to stand up and remember ourselves. Isaiah 1 verse 26 and Isaiah 1 and verse 26 and Romans 9 and verse 26. It tells you we would remember ourselves. We're not supposed to continue in the way of these false idols that our forefathers taught us. We're supposed to stand up and be men in this truth and say, no, we're not going to worship these false idols of the heathen. All right? And that's why some brothers are going to be beheaded for this truth, because we refuse to accept the implantable microchip that the heathen are going to make mandatory worldwide for buying and selling. Go ahead.
Come on. They light them. This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 19. They light them candles, yea, more than for themselves, whereof they cannot see one.
Right. The idol can't even see the candle. You can't even see the light. Go ahead.
Oh man. They are as one of the beams of the temple, yet they say their hearts are gnawed upon by things creeping out of the earth, and when they eat them and their clothes, they feel it not.
Right, because they're rotting. You got something made out of wood. What happens to wood over time? It rots,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So you're worshiping rot and decay, worshiping these false idols, going into these churches made by hands of men. There's no answers in there, right? What look at what happens in these Hollywood, in these colleges. They're being molested. All these stories coming out of behavior that is incorrect. You see, and they're teaching you the way of the heathen to worship, and really, all these are religions. Mm-hmm. Whether it's politics, whether it's education,
Yep.
whether it's entertainment or prison, it's all false religions here.
Mm-hmm. Their faces are black through the smoke that cometh out of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Upon their bodies and heads sit bats, swallows, and birds, and the cats also.
Right, all these different animals, they shit on their idols. Right, they got these statues and birds just sitting on top of the head of it, just taking a big old shit on it. Mm-hmm. Right, the animals, they just sit on these idols. They're not real gods. There's more life in the animal than in these false gods that they have. You see?
Come on. By this ye may know that they are no gods, therefore fear them not.
Mm-hmm.
Notwithstanding the gold that is about them to make them beautiful, except they wipe off the rust, they will not shine, for neither when they were molten did they feel it.
Right, they're not real. Right? Jesus Christ is not real. Allah is not real. All these false gods are not real. Trump is not a god. He is a man. You see? And that's what you're about to learn. The Lord's going to put so many plagues on this place like he did Egypt. It's going to show you that all these things that everybody worship are nothing. This is why you're going to have blackouts. This is why you're going to have, you see Trump, he's sick. Why is he sick? I thought he was a god. Why is the government sick? Why is it divided? It cannot stand if it's divided. Right? Why is your dollar failing? I thought you had the almighty dollar, they used to call it back in the day. Why is it failing? Because the Lord is not with you. And all you have are idols. And they can't save you. Your money cannot save you. That's in Isaiah 10. Let me grab that. It says, let me see. It says, the gold and silver cannot save you. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Let me find it real quick. I'm not seeing it. Let me. They shall cast their gold and silver in the streets. KJV. Oh, Ezekiel 7. Ezekiel 7 and let me see, 19. Okay, I'll start at 17. It says Ezekiel 7 and 17. All hands shall be feeble and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity, which they don't believe. They believe in these idols like gold and silver, right? Money itself. The love of money is the root of all evil. All right? So the Lord is going to destroy these false idols no matter what it is. That's why even the job was an idol, what you sacrificed your whole life to give to a job. You see? And they gave you your virtues, they gave you your morale, they gave you the standard, what they call standard of living, which that's why it's a religion. Okay? Let me get that meaning. Definition of standard of living. It says the degree of wealth and material comfort available to a person or community. See, so they're like a job that gives you a standard of living, just like when you go into the military, when you go into the prison, when you go. That's why these people are breaking down that have the high degrees. They're like, hey, I'm supposed to be given some kind of respect here, some kind of honor here. I got a PhD. I got a master's, right? Just like a military guy, he has all these medals on him. He's going to say, hey, you better honor me, respect me, fear me. See, it's a false religion, all these things. All right? Let me see, legal-wise. I just want to see what this says legally. Legal definition. It says in legal context, standard of living refers to the level of wealth, comfort, material goods, and necessities available to a person, which the standard of living is going down in America. The UN, I saw a video where they were talking about how food is no longer a human right, and this is why they're cutting food stamps in America and they're starving people in Gaza. And you better not cut the video because you have Donald Trump saying the same thing on YouTube. All right? It says, typically used in the context of family law, because really you would have an inheritance. Where is our inheritance? It was stolen from us. All right? The so-called Caucasian, he's the sword in the Lord's hand. We sinned, and so we've been scattered throughout the world in slavery, and they took our golden cities. Jerusalem was a golden city. All right, look it up. All these cities that we had, they were golden cities. And why did they murder us? For the gold. All right. And the Lord showed he wasn't even really with you, because there was times where they would be in these ships filled with gold and they'd sink. And that's why you had treasure today, lost treasures that the Spaniards and Portuguese and all these other Edomites came over here and robbed and murdered the Israelites that were over here, and they'd fill their ships so full that they'd sink with it. See, and if we didn't produce gold, they'd chop our hands off, murder us, burn us on the stakes, right? So, and they did that in the name of Jesus Christ. Remember that. When Columbus came, he came with Hebrew translators. That's why, him going to Asia was a big fucking lie. He came over here with Hebrew translators and Caesar Borgia, which you know as Jesus Christ today, the false religion of Christianity and Roman Catholic and Islam. Islam is the same thing. All right? It's the same thing. It's made up by Esau. Go ahead, Yuko.
I got this one. It's Romans chapter 1, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads in the KJV, who changed the truth of power into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Con.
Right? And that's what Esau is doing to the Israelites right now. He taught them to worship creation instead of the creator. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? They worship sex, they worship food, they worship women, they worship shit. Some people worship the man's penis. That's why it's all throughout the society, which goes back to Egypt. All right, when you go to these government buildings, they have a thing called an obelisk, which represents a Hamite penis. All right, uncircumcised. And that's why they have these things here, because they're in the customs of the heathen. They're idols of the heathen. The dollar, the back of the dollar has an Egyptian pyramid. Mm-hmm. All right. Hollywood, they use the all-seeing eye of so-called Ra, right? A false god. What is it? Wall Street, they have a idol of a bull, right? In mockery of the Israelites, because they used to sell Israelites on the Wall Street. We were the stock of the market. And why the cow? Because they know Israelites worship the golden calf. Just like in the book of they call it the Quran, which is really nothing, but in the book of cow. All right, there's the reason it's called a book of cow is because it talks about the Israelites building a golden calf when they came out of Egypt. All right, so all these false religions of this institution are going to fail. Only the truth will remain at the end. All right, go ahead, Yuko.
Con. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 25, the things wherein there is no breath are bought for a most high price.
Mm-hmm. They'll spend crazy amount of money on a Jesus piece, all right, on a crucifix, on an idol, going to see an idol. Look at right now, they're out there in Mecca. I saw it on live on the TikToks or YouTube. They're out there circling that box that can't save them. The cube, and they died trying to kiss the stone, right? Which is, it can't do nothing. It can't raise you from the dead. It can't even protect you in a stampede. Every year that they do this voyage, that they spend all this money to go to Mecca, it doesn't lengthen their life. In fact, they may lose their life going to kiss this stone that can't save them. See? So it's foolish. They're false religions. There's no salvation in them. There's no power. Once again, why isn't Allah saving Gaza? Why, right? The Lord promised us salvation. When they come in like a flood on us, we're going to eat. We're going to drink. We're going to live. See? Why isn't that happening for Gaza? And why, if those are the real Jews that claim to be Jewish, an Israeli state, why are they using the sword of the wicked? It was the wicked that was blessed with the sword to call fire down from heaven in front of the world, which everybody was afraid of the beast, America and the European Union, which did what? They ruled the world with an iron fist. Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 26, they are borne upon shoulders, having no feet, whereby they declare unto men that they be nothing worth.
They can't even walk. You got to carry this thing that's supposed to carry you through tribulation. Damn, you got to be freaking stupid to trust in these things. You know? I don't even trust elevators. I saw these movies, these people, they get killed in these elevators.
Oh.
I trust in the Lord, but I remember when I used to do like deliveries in downtown, and you got to go up, up real high. You're like, shit, is this machine going to hold me? Is it going to stay? Because you don't know. Look at all these amusement parks breaking down all over the world. From Saudi Arabia to America, people are getting caught up in these amusement parks.
The roller coaster?
The roller coaster in Saudi Arabia, it was like almost like a swing, I guess, but it freaking snapped midair.
Yeah.
25 people had to go to the hospital because they trusted in that. See, so all these people's faith is vain, and they're gonna end up losing hope, and either being murdered or suicide, or they're gonna eventually be in the lake of fire. That's the end of this place. That's the end of these people. There is no hope for them. Look at their gods. What hope is there for their gods? Can they survive a flood? Can they survive fire? Can they save themselves? So how are they going to save you? How are they going to give you the instruction needed? See? They can't. There's no instruction in the Quran but that the chosen seed is the Israelites. That's all. That's the only best part of that book is that the chosen people are Israelites. The Book of Mormon, they tell you about the Israelites, the tribe of Gad, the North American Indians that were here and enslaved by the so-called white race, which used the sword to get this land. Go ahead, Jacob.
Says, letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 27, they also that serve them are ashamed, for if they fall to the ground at any time, they cannot rise up again of themselves. Neither, if one set them upright, can they move of themselves. Neither, if they be bowed down, can they make themselves straight. But they set gifts before them as unto dead men.
Mm-hmm. Because they can't save. They're nothing. They can't save. These small hats. Why are they requiring all these laws to save them? I thought you were the chosen people. I thought you had the power. Let me get that video I saw from the same female judge. Let's see. Why do these small hats, all right, need America to save them?
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem with anti-Semitism in this country, and the statistics bear that out. And I think now more than ever, we are seeing increased numbers. So what does that mean? What it means, if you can get from, my tone, we're going to be very aggressive. You heard from the FBI, the MPD. We're going to look for these cases. We're going to prosecute these cases to the full force of the law. It's a problem, and we're not going to tolerate it. Anti-Semitism has historically been one of the biggest scabs in the world that keeps getting picked on and picked at. So, from my perspective, I will go forward with every case with vengeance.
But this shows you this is a nation of fools. You got women ruling your kingdom, and you're thinking a woman is going to bring you salvation, right? And then you guys are protecting a religion that is failing to protect its own people. You can't endure persecution. Your religion is so fake that you can't stand up to any questions, right? So it shows you all these heathen, their religions are vain, their hope is vain. That's why it says, fear not their imaginations. Fuck them and their fucking religion and their whole fucking families. Fuck them. Fuck the heathen. Mm-hmm. All right? Our God is the one that has power, that controls the heavens and the earth. All right? We have a sure word of prophecy. See, we don't have to fear these fucking heathen. They don't got no power. They only got the power that they've been given, and that power is being removed from them. That's why they're panicking. Let me get it. It says in Obadiah, this is the vision of Obadiah, which he had a vision of Edom's judgment. And it says in verse 8, it says, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed. It says, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See? So they have no hope. Really, they're more afraid than we are. You should be. And the elect should be very stable in this faith. You're not supposed to be a double-minded man. It tells you that in James 1. It says, verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth, meaning you go from doctrine to doctrine, is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. See, so we're supposed to be solid in this truth. All right, fully persuaded. Our salvation is in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and his name alone, their names alone are excellent. Now we grow in this grace according to the level of faith that you have, all right? And every day you're working out your faith, you know? Otherwise than that, the rest of these people don't fucking matter. They don't matter. They're going to die. They're going to meet their end, all right? Go ahead, Yukon.
Con, the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 28, as for the things that are sacrificed unto them, their pre-sale and abuse, in like manner their wives lay up part thereof in salt, but unto the poor and impotent they give nothing of it.
Right, and then they're selfish, right? Look at that so-called Christian pastor, the one in Texas, Lakewood, Texas.
Oh,
Joe Osteen.
yeah.
Yeah, look at that guy. All that money, and does he feed the poor? Does he help the people that gave him the money? No. When there's a flood, he shuts his doors on you. He locks the doors on you. He don't let you come into his building.
Mm-hmm.
You know? He don't help you when you can't pay your rent. Just like that movie Bronx Tale with Sonny,
Yeah.
the leader. He says, the little boy C, he's talking about all these sports. You know, he's all about the sports. Oh, he names them by the name and their batting average.
Mm.
And the head of their mob says, "Hey, fuck this dude. Does he pay your bills when it's required? Why do you even give a fuck about this dude? Fuck this dude." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you should think about Esau. Fuck him. Why? Because look, is he paying your rent? He's making it where you can't pay your rent.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to put food on your table? He's taking food off your table, right? Is he going to make it safer? No, he's making it more dangerous. He's pretty much trying to take your life, and you feel sorry for this bastard. You see, and that's why the elect are going to endure. We're going to harden. Our hearts are going to harden against this world, but our hearts are not hard against the will of the Lord like the world's heart is. All right? They don't realize that the Lord's dealing with us. See? And it's not dealing with them, and that's why all these things are happening. Floods, earthquake, mudslides, murder rate increase, which now they're trying to say it's not, which is how could it not? When there's more unemployment, the cost of living is outrageous because of inflation, the devaluing of the dollar, the people are bugged out through, whether it's through the venom that you put inside of them or the food that you're feeding them being poisoned, you see? So this place is a mess, and the Lord's going to straighten it out through destruction. He's going to destroy this place. The land of confusion is going to be destroyed. America, Babylon the Great, where you could come and serve whatever God you want. Right here, you got like 3 churches. Then you got the Freemasons. That's a false religion, right? They have all these secret societies that rule the world. False religions. Politics, education, whether it's prison or entertainment. It's all false religions. See? Go ahead, Jacob.
On. The letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 29, reads, menstruous women
Right?
and women in childbed eat their sacrifices. By these things ye may know that they are no gods, fear them not.
Right? Which you could read about it in let's see. It was with Daniel. It is Balin the dragon. All right? And it shows you how Daniel reveals to one of the heathen kings that his sacrifices are all going to these priests and their family, right? And the heathen king thinks that this thing is consuming these things. But in Baal and the dragon, Daniel being given the Holy Spirit to be wise, in that time, he put flour down. And it showed the footprints that it was them and their family eating these sacrifices. But see, the Lord, he provided for his priests. Because in our law, the priests were to eat certain sacrifices. And that was to be their meat. They were supposed to be given wine and bread and meat of the sacrifice. You see? And also gold, silver, oils, and frankincense, and all these different things that a man needs. It was supposed to come through the sacrifice of the congregation. You see, but in these heathen society, what is it? Nothing but greed. Mm-hmm. The Roman Catholic Church don't help nobody, but itself. They show you that in The Godfather, when Al Pacino said, "It's like dealing with the Borgias," because they robbed him for like $700 million. He thought it'd be safe with them, and what they do, they stole it from their own congregation. What does the Roman Catholic Church do? They're known for PDFing, right? Messing with little children. See? Their idols are false. The Pope, why couldn't he save himself? He died. Didn't that Pope die? This
last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one.
What, I thought that was, did the Pope die? Yep. Died. Let's see, it says he died on Easter Monday at the age of 88, which we know that's could be a fairy tale because Esau, this guy could have been dead a year ago, a month ago, but, they set up these dates for their witchcraft, all right? But this guy couldn't save himself. So how you praying to this guy? He's dead.
Oh, man.
He's pushing up, what they say, pushing up tulips. Why couldn't he save himself? And he prayed to Jesus Christ. Jesus didn't save him to keep him here to lead you in these dark times? You got to be a fool to follow these false religions. Go ahead.
Believing in a lie,
Right, and that's why they're in a psychosis, like the Lord said. Mm-hmm. They're in gross darkness. It's everywhere. And it's bad. It's bad to the point where you're delusional to think that there's an American dream, that there's going to be some future here, when they're telling you straight up it's going to be a nuclear war. Russia just sent nuclear warplanes to Europe, as Trump sent nuclear submarines to Russia. At the same time, you got nuclear submarines at Florida. So it's all set up. At the same time, you got them bringing out the implantable microchip. We're at the very last days of this place. All right? Now, it could go on for a year, or it might go on for a couple months. It could go. It's according to the Lord's will, but we know that it can't go on forever. This place is falling apart as it is. That the people are losing their jobs. They can't afford to live. They're saying that all these tariffs are going to cause shortages. A lot of countries are going with, businesses are going with the BRIC countries, right? So how could this place go on? How could America, which is an idol, right? Everybody wanted to come here and live here and worship here,
Yeah.
right? How it can't even save itself. It's decaying. It's rotting. Trump told you, Elon Musk told you, the government of America is full of corruption. Full of it. Go ahead,
I was gonna say, like, you know, the American dream you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all rigged, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You know, you live all your life. You know, a person, you know, and then the way they send you to these schools to condition you, you know, to not how to make money, because they don't. If that was the case, they would have competition. You know? And so now
And really, if it was money, they tell you about gold and silver. They don't teach you about gold and
Yeah,
silver.
right.
If anything, they teach you how to fall for the greenback fiat currency, which has no value. Trump is moving from the dollar to a digital currency because your fiat currency failed you. That's another idol, the money. Hey, you got Jake that murder for money, lie for money, sell their souls for money,
Yeah.
right? So all these things are religions. Everywhere around us is a religion, a false religion. Once again, from the education to the correction facility, they're all false religions. That's why you got men, once again, that come out the prison system called institutionalized. Just like if you were to go to a college and become indoctrinated, it's the same thing. See? Go ahead.
Yeah. The letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 30. For how can they be called gods, because women set meat before the gods of silver, gold, and wood?
Right? Oh, these Orientals that worship these idols and they put food in front of them, like Buddha,
Yeah.
right? How could it save them? Buddha temples are being destroyed right now through landslides, flooding, earthquakes. The Buddhist monks were found on methamphetamine. How they got any answers? See, they're the ones that caused this war between Thailand and Cambodia, because they said they found all kinds of meth inside these monk temples. Yeah, but why can't their God save them? Right? Because methane ain't an herb. It's not. It's a man-made substance of witchcraft. All right, and they're not able to heal themselves with herbs or with wine or with exercise. That's the whole point of their meditation, was to be grounded.
Mm-hmm.
See, but they're not, because they have a false religion. The elect are going to be grounded all the way into the end. And what are we grounded in? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Go ahead.
And the priests, this is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the priests sit in their temples, having their clothes rent, and their heads and beards shaven, and nothing upon their heads. They roar and cry before their gods, as men do at the feast.
Oh yeah, I see some of these Chinese, and they were they crawl all the way up to the temple. They show you in that movie with Jackie Chan and Will Smith.
Yep.
They'll take the voyage up to the temple to go pray at the highest mountain, and sometimes they'll crawl on their hands and knees, or they'll whip themselves with it.
You mean the sun?
Yeah, but I just saw it actually before we did this, that they were showing these. They're making temple pilgrimage. Pilgrimage. Let me see how that works. Temple pilgrimage. Let me see. Pilgrim. It says in Japan, temple pilgrimage. And what it is they go up and journey up to these Buddhist temples, traveling up to 750 miles. You see? And for what? It's all in vain.
Mm-hmm.
Their false religions can't save them. Let's see. Earthquakes destroying Buddhist temples 2025. Right there. A strong earthquake in Myanmar in March 2025 caused significant damage to Buddhist temples and other religious buildings. You see? Why couldn't they save themselves? How are you going to worship an idol that can't even save itself? Can't even wipe its eyes of the dust. Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 32, the last part of the that verse. The feast when one is dead. The priests also take off their garments and clothe their wives and children.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be evil that one doeth unto them, or good, they are not able to recompense it. They can neither set up a king nor put him down.
Right. One of these idols, you go piss on it, it can't even stop you. And it doesn't establish a king like the Lord did. He established King David. He's establishing Yahweh Shai. He raised us up with prophecy. Where is the rest of these prophets of these other nations, of these other kingdoms, of these other religions? Where are they? Where are your prophets? Where are they that are supposed to be warning you of all this trouble that's happening right now? And they don't have no answers. They have no answers for you. Go ahead.
Go on. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 35. In like manner, they can neither give riches nor money, though a man make a vow unto them and keep it not, they will not require it.
Mm-hmm. Like these mobsters, they actually do. They show you that they'll burn one of those Roman Catholic idols, and they'll swear upon it that if they break their oath that they'll burn in hell because they're Roman Catholics, right? Their false religion,
Mm-hmm.
and that idol that they burn, it has no power of judging you. You see, it's the Lord that judges you. He said, "If you live by the gun, you shall die by the gun."
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is judging you. Thou shalt not murder. You see, but in their mind, that idol, or Annabelle. You just had the death of the guy that he had the doll Annabelle.
Mm.
Annabelle didn't kill him. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai took his life. They sent an angel to take his soul and bring it back to him. All right, Annabelle had nothing to do with it. All right, that doll or Chucky, there's no power in a doll to kill you. It's the Lord that destroys you, and He sends spirits to collect or to give reward.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, they make these movies like like Chucky could kill you,
Mm-hmm. But it's all a lie. Even Apostle Paul explained that.
Uh-huh.
These idols, they don't have no life in them.
Right.
They're spirits that move the people in the mind to build these idols. All right, and like these Hamites, they have the witchcraft to move things, right? Just like Esau's doing. He got robots, right? But what's really moving that robot is a demonic spirit, right? Like they told you, what is AI? It's a demon. Elon Musk told you that. They summoned a demon. They even told you it's a being. They put eyes all over it. Really, it's a chariot. And Esau's being contacted by chariots. They show you in the movie, The Encounter of the Fourth Kind. All right, where they had a government facility in South Dakota literally contacting chariots and angels, and this is where they get the left-handed information. This is why they got things like the CERN, Ouija boards. They're looking for answers. They're trying to get power so they could rule the world, which the Lord gave it to them, the sword and deception. Now their time is over. That's the thing. You ran out of time. You're running out of time. Your time is short. Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 36 reads, They can save no man from death, neither deliver the weak from the mighty.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh,
cannot-
Rocky.
Oh.
Remember, he was a Roman Catholic, and he do the so-called blessing that the Roman Catholics do,
Yeah.
which really you're cursing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and what happened to him? He lost his wife, lost his wealth, right? So his God didn't save him. Jesus Christ, in that movie, they show you he didn't save Rocky. Rocky never was protected. He lost everything. He lost his wife. Why couldn't Jesus Christ save her? Why couldn't she be resurrected? You see? Why did he have no answers? When you see at the end of the movie, he really has no answers at the end of the day. He's just talking about blunt force. When he told his son, when his son came and he scolded him in the movie, because in the first Rocky, Stallone is the one that actually pointed it out. It's supposed to represent their Jesus Christ. See? So why didn't he have any answers for his son in the later Rockies? It's because Jesus Christ don't have no answers. Go ahead.
God. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 37. They cannot restore a blind man to his sight, nor help any man in his distress.
Mm-hmm.
They can shew no mercy to the widow, nor do good to the fatherless.
Mm-hmm. They can't lead the fatherless. They can't shelter the widow. They can't show no mercy in judgment. See? They're worthless. Your money is worthless. Your idols, your false religions, it's all worthless and vain. And that's why we're going to become as precious, more precious than fine gold. Because we have answers. We know what's happening. We have the sure word of prophecy. And you would do well if you took heed. That's why the Lord said, I advise you to buy of me gold tried in the fire. Cleave unto the elect so that you could have the truth.
Mm-hmm. The digital money is going to be worthless.
Yeah.
You know?
Shit is going to condemn you to have it.
Mm-hmm.
That implantable microchip.
Their powers of wood, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 29. 39. Their gods of wood, and which are overlaid with gold and silver, are like the stones that be hewed out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded.
These Arabs, they worship that stone in Mecca. They ain't got no answers. Why can't they solve the problem in Gaza?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah.
They don't even have no brotherhood. They're not fighting for each other.
Uh-huh.
They're not feeding each other. Shit, they said the Chinese went over there and donated food. I haven't seen no fucking Arab country go over there and break Israel's air restrictions to feed those people.
Mm-hmm.
And those are so-called Muslims in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no love in that religion. That's a false religion.
Mm-hmm. Con. This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 40.
Letter of Jeremiah.
Huh?
Letter of Jeremiah.
Okay, letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 40. How should a man then think and say that they are gods when even the Chaldeans themselves dishonor them?
Mm-hmm.
Who, if they shall see one dumb that cannot speak, they bring him and entreat Baal that he may speak as though he were able to understand.
Right, in front of an idol, which this idol can't even hear you. It has no ears. Though you may put ears on it, it has no ears to hear you. You see? It can't heal you, can't heal itself.
Okay. This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 42. Yet they cannot understand this themselves and leave them, for they have no knowledge.
Mm-mm. They can't tell you the herbs to heal yourself with. They can't say, Like, you know how Apostle Gabar been talking about drinking and eating right?
Right.
These idols can't do that.
Uh-uh.
Right? You pray to them because you got heart problems, but they can't give you no answers what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But our God, he says, use the herbs. Fast. Pray. And it even says, go to your leadership and allow them to pray over you.
Yep. And those Catholics, they're known for a lot of those, those created, they create these statues, to worship. Well, they worship Jesus Christ.
Oh, they'll have these false prophets go into a town and act like they heal people.
Mm-hmm.
Fake healings.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it's not happening. It's all trick photography. It's all a swap of the hand. Right? So it's not. What are they going to do for you in Jacob's trouble, in great tribulation, in famine? See, in deception, what are they going to do for you? They're already deceiving you. They ain't going to tell you no truth. Just like IUIC. It's already been proven that dude is lying to you, Nate. But you still go.
Yep.
You still follow this guy. And he's leading you astray. And you know it. That's the thing. You know it. Just like these people that know these idols. They know it can't save them. They know it. But they choose to serve it because of tradition of men. Oh, my parents did it. Or, oh, this is what's required of me by the society. Like the MOTB. See? But the elect men are going to stand on business, on our Father's business. And we're not going to be deceived. We're not going to accept it. We'd rather die than bow to these false idols. All right?
Like that, what Scripture says, you can't serve both power or mammoth, and that's what they're
Mammon,
doing.
not mammoth.
Huh?
Not mammoth. Mammon.
Oh, mammon.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to say it right. Mammon.
Mammon. Okay. And that goes to show you, you can't serve two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other.
Yeah.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 43. The women also with cords about them sitting in the ways burn brand for perfume. But if any of them drawn by some that passeth by lie with him, she reproacheth her fellow that she was not thought as worthy as herself, nor her cord broken.
Good.
Whatsoever is done among them is false. How may it then be thought or said that they are gods? They are made of carpenters and goldsmiths. They can be nothing else than the workmen will have them to be. And they themselves that made them can never continue long. How should then the things that are made of them be gods?
Right, which the person that made him is better than the one that he made.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 47. For they left lies and reproaches to them that come after. For when there cometh any war or plague upon them, the priests consult with themselves where they may be hidden with them.
right? Just like, in like World War One and World War II, you had these Roman Catholic priests that were with the military men, and they couldn't help them. They couldn't save them. They had no prayer in heaven and earth. Right now, the clergymen right now, that's two things I forgot that are going to be drafted. I just heard a woman that's in the medical field, she said, people forget, but when there's a war, they draft the medical field. Doctors and nurses, they go to the military. Right? Which that's a false religion. All right? When you go into the medical, it's a false religion that you have to have faith in. All right? But they can't save you. They can't even save themselves out there. Right? These false religions, they can't save you. You have these so-called religious items, they can't save you in a time of war and plague. Shit, Trump can't save America. He's literally leading it to the slaughter.
Yep. Con. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 49. How then cannot men.
Oh, they said they saw a Virgin Mary 2 times in history, right? Which is a false, because what information did she give? Nothing. She gave you no information of what to do in these last days. Nothing. So there is nothing that is in the Virgin Mary religion that is going to save you or help you. It only condemns you that you worship woman. When she was made after the man was first made, then the woman. Go ahead.
Con. How then cannot men perceive that they be no gods, which can neither save themselves from war nor from plague?
Mm-hmm.
For seeing they be of wood and overlaid with silver and gold, it shall be known hereafter that they are false.
Right. But what's going to happen to the elect when we're tried? The Lord's going to raise the standard. You're literally going to see power. You're seeing it right now. We're prophesying. The power to prophesy is a gift from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Go ahead.
Con. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 51. And it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings that they are no gods, but the works of men's hands, and that there is no work of God in them.
Right, which he tells you that he's going to pile the bodies up around these idols. There's going to be a day that there's bodies all over. It says like dung in the churches, in the schools, right? Out of all your education system. Why is there mass shootings? Why can't you save yourself? You have locking doors, you have cameras, you have security guards. Why can't you stop the mass shootings? Because you're a false religion. All right? And these are the plagues that the Lord sent upon you. All right? You're a military. Why couldn't you stop the mass shootings? You have military, what do they call them? The police?
Military police?
Military police. MPs. Right? You got borders that are protected, called bases. Why couldn't you protect your people? Because you're a false religion. The job. Oh, come to work and you're guaranteed a check. Why isn't it up to standard of living? Why are they losing their job? Because the employment of America is a false religion that you have to have faith in, and now you literally got to be psychotic to believe in these things because they don't exist.
Yep.
There's no retirement. There's no education that's going to give you a job that you're guaranteed to retire. You see, the military, sure, you might go in and end up being experimented on.
Con.
They don't love you, though they're going to tell you that you need to show love for their country. And Jake, you got to be a fucking goddamn fool to go into the military or to the police force when they openly show you that they hate you.
Well, you're dealing with psychopaths, in the government, You know, the what do they call them?
Oligarchy.
Oligarchy, and that goes to show you
Just the elite, yeah.
That's the elite club. If you're not in that club, just like that one comedian, what was his name, Carlin, or he says you're just draining the what do you call it? Draining the ground. I forget what they call it, but and you're not part of the club,
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Carlin something. This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 52. Who then may not know that they are no gods? For neither can they set up a king in the land, nor give rain unto men. Neither can they judge their own cause, nor redress a wrong, being unable, for they are as crows between heaven and earth, whereupon, when fire falleth upon the house of gods of wood, or laid over with gold or silver, their priests will flee away and escape, but they themselves shall be burnt asunder like beams.
Like a house. You see the churches. Just recently, humongous old church burnt down in, I think it was New York. Old church in New York burns 2025. See, that old church, it had idols in it. Why didn't it save itself? It burned. Now you'll hear about reports of the Bible being preserved, but these churches, they couldn't preserve themselves because there's no power in them. All right, go ahead.
Moreover, this is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 56. Moreover, they cannot withstand any king or enemies. How can it then be thought or said that they be gods? Neither are those gods of wood and laid over with silver or gold able to escape either from thieves or robbers, whose gold and silver and garments wherewith they are clothed, they that are strong take and go away withal, neither are they able to help themselves.
Right.
Therefore, it is better to be a king that sheweth his power, or else a profitable vessel in an house which the owner shall have use of.
Like a cup, a golden cup. That's more useful than a freaking statue of Jesus Christ. You see? Because you could drink from it, use it. But you got these Jake that have golden Jesus pieces they're worthless. All right? The gold is worth more than the image.
Yeah. Then such false gods, or to be a door in an house to keep such things therein, then such false gods, or a pillar of wood in a palace, then such false gods.
Right. The door that protects the idols is worth more than the idols. You see? The door that they close and lock is worth more in position of being a door than the wood that is in the shape of an idol, like a cross. The cross can't save you. You know, you got this cross. Oh, you know, like the movies with vampires. That shit don't work. That's not real. It's all lies. It's a vain religion, the Roman Catholic Church, Christianity, and Islam. And anything else except for the truth, which is in the scriptures. Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter...
Which the heathen did suffer from them touching us and touching our temple and touching the Ark of the Covenant that was given to us as a testimony, touching the temple. All these heathen kingdoms did fall for touching us. All right, and touching our holy... look at the lineage of Nebuchadnezzar. They were drinking out of our the temple vessels, and their end came that night. You see? So there is power with us in this truth. But in these other religions, there's no power in them. All right? And that's why even these other Israelite camps, they're scrambling. They're trying to do videos for money. Oh, what was it? $10,000 debate. There ain't no debate. It's only one truth. You either agree or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no debating. The elect were never sent here to debate. We're not here to debate nothing. We're commanding you to repent in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai or die.
We're coming to warn.
Right, the Israelite.
Yeah.
And it condemns the world. Go ahead.
This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 60. For sun, moon, and stars being bright and sent to do their offices are obedient. In like manner, the lightning, when it breaketh forth, is easy to be seen, and after the same manner the wind bloweth in every country. And when God commanded the clouds to go over the whole world, they do as they are bidden. Yeah.
Even the chariots. You got people that worship so-called UFOs, right? Thinking that there's little gray men on there. See? And they don't realize that the Lord is controlling all these things, controlling the weather, right? We know that Esau had an advancement of technology so that he could develop the nuclear missile, but really it's the Lord that controls the weather, whether it's through man or the Lord just does it, as he wills. All right? He could use a man to manipulate it, or he could just use angels to bring it forth as wind. He told Satan to bring plagues upon Job, and the Lord said, "Don't touch Job." But his family died. He lost his wealth, right? People took his animals, right? But Job's health, he even lost his health, but he didn't die. See? So life and death are in the hand of the Lord, all right? Not Esau. Now, Esau is a weapon that is formed to destroy, to take life from the earth. But the Lord is the one that yields him. All right?
Fine. The letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 63. And the fire sent from above to consume hills and woods doeth as it is commanded. But these are like unto them, neither in shew nor power. Wherefore it is neither to be supposed nor said that they are God, seeing they are able neither to judge causes nor to do good unto men, knowing therefore that they are no gods, fear them not, for they can neither curse nor bless kings, neither can they shew signs in the heavens among the heathen, nor shine as the sun, nor give light as the moon. The beasts are better than they, for they can get under a cover and help themselves.
Right? They could at least help themselves. These idols that you worship, they can't even save themselves. Like I said, you got these Spaniard ships that were filled with gold because they worshiped the gold, right? They'd murder the Israelite for gold. And the weight of the gold would take the ship down in the sea. It wouldn't even save these people that worshipped it. Just like today, these people are going to take an implantable microchip, worshiping the image of the beast, and it won't even save you. It's going to condemn you. See? Go ahead.
Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 69. It is then by no means manifest unto us that they are gods, therefore fear them not.
Right, like even these Edomites, right? I thought they went to the moon. Now they're talking about they're in a race against China to get to the moon, to establish a little piece of the moon for America. I thought you already went to the moon. See, they're liars. They set up a flag, I thought, on the moon. I thought you stabbed the moon with the flag of a United States flag. See, but it's all lies. It's all false religions. It's all false idols. America's a big fucking false idol. It's a whore. You see? Lies. They never touched the moon. Why they got to try to race back now to try to establish a flag on the moon? I thought you already did it. But see, they didn't. It's all lies. All right?
I think they were talking about NASA wants to put a nuclear installation over there.
Yeah, I saved a clip where the guy actually said what I just said, where he said, we want to establish a piece of land for the Americans. But it said in 1969, let me get it. 1969, America plants flag on moon. See? July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin planted first flag on American moon. Now let me show you the video of this. One of Trump's cabinet's members. All right, let me get it. I save these little clips, for this purpose.
Yeah.
And edification. and condemnation against the wicked. Let me get it. It's right here. It's one of their main guys that he's had up in front of the limelight recently. Let's see. Right here.
We're in a race to the moon, in a race with China to the moon, and to have a base on the moon, we need energy. This fission technology is critically important, and so we've spent hundreds of $millions studying can we do it. We are now going to move beyond studying, and we have given direction to go. Let's start to deploy our technology to move to actually make this a reality. And if we're going to be,
I thought it was a reality in 1969. See, they're liars. So their whole setup is a false religion. Their whole setup. You see? And you got people that believe that they went to the moon. Oh, man, it's so great. We went to the moon. It's all one big fucking lie. Right? And that's why they asked that these men, you can see it, it's on YouTube. They went to these astronauts, so-called astronauts, and told them to swear on the Bible, and they refused to. Because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
They would burn up if they try to touch the moon. It's a light. It gives off light. It has heat. You see? It radiates light. They don't have that technology to go to the moon. They don't have the technology to go to the sun. But they see vehicles that do. And they've told you, they've seen these chariots in heaven that go and absorb or put off something into the sun, or go into the sun, or go off into the moon. And that's the angels of the Lord. See, and Esau, he ain't got the power like that. That power is with us, and we're going to go into the universe and actually go out and expand beyond Earth. All right? Because the power is with us. He's not with Esau.
this technology is
Go ahead, Jacob.
Con. This is the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 70. For as a scarecrow in a garden of cucumbers keepeth nothing, so are their gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold. And likewise their gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold are like to a white thorn in an orchard that every bird sitteth upon, as also to a dead body that is east into the dark.
Right. So then the animals, like they said, you got these like humongous Jesus Christ out there in Brazil, right? And what sits on it and shits on it? Birds, right? And there's nothing to protect it. In fact, they try to think of ways probably to stop it. If not, it'd be covered with, caked with shit. You see how when we go to the camp, those birds took over that teepee.
Yeah.
And they just shit on that table, just covering it. These idols of these Catholics. Oh, right over here, right by the border, they have a place where you go walk, and they have images of false idols of the Roman Catholic Church, and you're supposed to do like 10 of them and say your Hail Marys and your Our Fathers and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? That place is covered in dust. It can't protect itself. The animals go over there, and the dog could lift its leg and piss right on its statue. You see? No, there's no power in these things. No power.
That's evidence of their their what do you call it? Unbelief,
The lack of power.
Yeah, not cleaning up that place,
Yeah, because they really don't. They know. They really know that the statue is not real. Right? But they play the game of acting like they believe, which it makes them willfully ignorant to the truth. But Jake knows that that there's a higher power. It tells you about that we have a form, an ingredient called faith. Now Jake will build up idols just to pray to it, all right? But they know there's a higher power, all right? But this is why the Lord's angry with them. And he's going to destroy them in their unbelief. Because literally it's a willful ignorance is what it is. Go ahead.
Con. the letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 72, and ye shall know them to be no gods by the bright purple that rotteth upon them, and they themselves afterward shall be eaten and shall be a reproach in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Better, therefore, is the just man that hath more just man that hath none idols, for he shall be far from reproach.
Right? It's better to have no idols.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now go to Second Ezra, and we'll finish with this.
Second Ezra,
16 and 70.
Second Ezra 16. What is that? Yeah, Second Ezra 16. Go here. You said 16
Yeah,
or 70?
70.
It reads, this is Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Right. So they're going to turn against us, even our own people. Right. Our own communities are going to turn against us. Why? Because we tell you the truth, which makes us an enemy to your false religions, whether it's the education system, whether it's the hospital system, whether it's the religious system, the military system, the government, whatever it is, it's a false religion. And see, you got Jake that is well invested in all these false religions, whether it's either one of them. You know? Shit, some of them, they got this movie called Him.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you how the sport industry is a false religion that you pretty much have to make sacrifice unto. All right? Go ahead.
This is Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord power.
Right, because they're going to see us prophesying against their idols and their idols failing. So where are they going to put the blame? On us? You see? Just like in the time of Moses and Aaron, the Israelites got upset because Pharaoh started persecuting the Israelites with more work, making it harder to live in Egypt. And that's what's happening right now. That's why they're going to persecute us. Who's going to persecute us? The Israelites. Our own people. That's what insurrection means. If you look it up, I shared it. Ice Cube, all right, just came out with a movie called War of the Worlds, right? Which they did one with Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that movie, he's called Radford. That's the same name of the shooter of one of those military bases. See? So you got Israelites working against us. All right?
2/3.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. That's what insurrection means. They're going to go against you, though they're of you. You're an Israelite. Ice Cube is an Israelite, but he's a meat puppet for the Edomite.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let me get this video real quick. I believe it's on this phone. Let me see. Because I was saving it for a proper time, and this is better than any. Showing how Jake is a sellout. All right? And it's majority of them sell out for money.
Yep.
Let me see if it's in this one. But I'm sure I got it on the... Because I think it's on that phone we're recording, but I do got it on my channel, and I can find it real quick. But they tell you how Jake is a sellout for money. You know, and Esau knows that. He programmed it like that. That's why, you know, you're able to do things more with money than without money. So that you believe in the money. And now they're cutting out the money, so people are being rattled by that, you know, because that's their religion. Go to work, spend money.
Yeah.
Let me see here. It's because you had an interview with KRS-One, which he goes off in a false religion, you know, saying that he's an Egyptian, or an African, but really he's an Israelite. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, right here. Now, let me jump
You are the master of your reality.
right here.
If
What's
it's
it?
something to do with this colonial education we're getting, because I know some great black minds. You know, I'm in the university system. I see these minds. People, great minds. But that paycheck is going to dictate what's going to come out that mind. I'll come out your mouth of that mind.
And that paycheck is based off of that other piece of paper that they got to affirm their
I
paycheck.
got
The
master's
degree.
So therefore, I get paid more.
I get paid more.
Therefore, I'm controlled by your system.
You are the master
See?
of your reality.
So they made this system to where they were able to control you through the resources, whether it's food, water, right, ability to buy a home and live. All these things are being controlled so that they could control you.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me get one more because it shows you that Jake that's interviewing KRS-One, which he knows he's an Israelite. He came out and said he's an Israelite. But watch, he openly tells you he can't tell you the truth because of the paycheck. Let me see, I saved it right here. Let me get it. But that's why the elect, we love not our lives unto death. We're willing to die to tell you the truth. Which they're threatening us with prison, with death, with the loss of citizenship, with the loss of the ability to have a job, all right, with the loss of ability of having a family, because we're telling you.
Controlled by your system.
Let me
And
just, I know the truth, but let me not speak it right now.
Nah, because I can't. I got to feed my family.
Right. Right. Now, feeding your family is way more important than speaking the truth to a people that's going to treat you like they did Dr. King.
Murder you. You're going to lie for a system that's going to murder you anyway. Like Dr. King, Martin Luther King, he lied. He said himself, he believed he led his people into a burning house. This is the burning house. The kingdom of Esau. America, it's going to be destroyed by fire. And what was the religion that he was pushing? Was to be integrated with the Edomites. From segregation to integrated. See? Which is now a false religion. You got Jake that I gotta live by white people. I gotta live next to these Edomites. Right? They're all proud about it. Look at Rick Ross and these other, guys that have some money. They brag about how they're in these so-called white rich neighborhoods now. Because really the so-called white man is their master, is their idol. See? Go ahead, Yoko.
Here, I got one here. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. It reads, because of the violence done to your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever.
Right. And they know that. Esau knows it. Watch. Mm-hmm. You know the actor from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
He said it. Oh. They're looking and saying, man, look what we did to these people. And you know how they had that saying, what would Jesus do? That's what he said. He said, if you really think about it, which he actually speaks about, hearing the truth, but he wasn't able to receive it because he's an Edomite. But he said, if you think about what we've done unto these people, what is the Lord going to do to us? He says that. And I got the little clip right here. I just seen it. And when you read that, it made me think that. What he said, they know. See, that's the thing too. They know. They know what they're doing is evil. They know what they're doing. It shows that they're the devil. But they don't care. Mm-hmm. Just like the 2/3 don't care that they're doing it. But the elect, we're making a stand and we're standing on the truth.
We're supposed to elect the best of us, not the worst of us. He's everything that's wrong with not just America, but with being a human being. I just don't get the Christian right, and I've read a lot of people who do, and they explain it a lot better. But it's beyond me. But I just
he's an Edomite.
if Jesus came back, say 4 o'clock this afternoon, and he booked an appearance on your show, what do you think he'd say about how things are going? That's what I want to propose to some of the people who are so, hell-bent on what Trump is and what he represents and how I love the president. I'm going, have you seen the litany of stuff that he's done to people? I just think we're better than that, and I wish the Republican Party could get back to being better.
But there was never a time where they were good.
The best of us.
All right?
Not the
There was never a time where they were good people. But like he said, if just with logic, because he said he don't believe in the truth
worst of us.
of the right what's in the Bible, but because he's an Edomite, but he said just with logic, right? You see what he done, what the government of America has done to so many people around the world.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to you? What do you think is going to come your way? What goes around comes around.
Mm-hmm.
You spit up in the air and it's going to land in your own face.
A reckoning.
You Yep. They know it. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why they're trying to build such a big military with such a big budget.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are afraid they're about to have to pay for what they've done. Go ahead, Jacob.
God, yeah. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Right? Which the Lord's going to protect us. He's going to preserve us. All right? We're not going to be destroyed in this tribulation. Now, a few brothers are going to be sacrificed, but for the most part, we're going to overcome as the elect. All right? Now, 2/3 in America are going to be destroyed because they reject the truth. Go ahead.
Con. Says, 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord power, behold, the day of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
And it says days being plural because it's leading up to the day of the Lord, but we have Jacob's trouble and great tribulation. All right, there's going to be days of trouble. All right, and eventually the Lord's going to save us from our troubles because we're going to call upon him and he's going to say we are his people. He's going to deliver us. But we're in a time of Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
Con. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for power is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
Meaning you're filled with unbelief, false doctrines in your mind. The Holy Spirit sets things in order. All right? So we're supposed to get in order. Everything is done decently and in order. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man, woman, and child. This is the way of salvation. All right? Now, salvation is only for the Israelite. Go ahead.
Okay, one more here, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It says, it is left undressed, and this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 78. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith.
Talking about the mind of these Israelites that are going to be deceived. They're not thinking clear. They're once again in a psychosis, in gross darkness. They're in a delusion. They're being deceived to believe that the implantable microchip would give them life, all right, like the so-called white man is going to tell you that if you accept that implantable microchip, it's going to increase your life, increase your comfort, but in fact, it's going to take peace from you, and it's going to condemn you to the nuclear destruction of America. All right, and they lied to you about Jesus Christ. There is no power in that name, and it doesn't even exist. The man Jesus that you know as Jesus, that image is from a man named Cesare Borgia, and he was one of the Borgia's original crime family, and they were Edomites, all right, and they lied to the world. They deceived the world, making the world think that that was the image of the Lord, but it was a goddamn lie. It says that they're what does it say? They're, let me see, forger of lies. That's what it is. That verse, it says, forger of lies. Job 13:4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. All right? Jesus Christ is a goddamn lie and a physician of no value. Trump is a forger of lies and a physician of no value. The military, forger of lies, physician of no value. The education system from elementary to college, forger of lies, physicians of no value. The religious system of this world, from Christianity to Hinduism, forger of lies. They have no value as physicians. They can't help you. All right? This is why the world is sick and the people mourn, because the wicked are ruined. You got it?
Oh, yeah, I got one here. It's Obadiah chapter 1. We'll start KJV verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Right, which the Lord's taking the understanding and giving it to the elect of Israel. Now, the Confederacy, they're turning their back on them. All right? Let me see. Businesses that sign with BRIC nations. Let me pull it up. It says, yep, right here it says Trump threatens extra tariffs on nations that side with BRICS. Because to go around his tariffs, they're talking about doing business straight with BRICS, saying fuck the European Union and America. And that's why the European Union is going to say fuck America. Because they're losing business over America. And America, starting with them small hats over there in the land of Israel, those counterfeits, they're driving America and the European Union into a nuclear war. Once again, Russia just sent nuclear bombers over Europe. Why? Because America pushed nuclear submarines into Russia. See? And it's been going on for a long time. The Syrian war, shit, the Vietnam War was America against the Viet Cong, which were funded by China and Russia. So this thing has been going on for a long time, and it's about to end, and it's going to end with nuclear missiles destroying America. And it's going to be what they say a so-called UFO invasion, the chariots of heaven coming with Yahushua and the angels, and they're going to melt all the military that is gathered in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, that they're going to draft. They're going to draft you. And like I said, I didn't think about it, but now that I'm hearing about these people that are being told to be ready to be drafted, which they just said at the DMV, they put out a new, when you sign your license, and it says, if you're at this age and you're male, you need to sign this to be ready for a draft, right? And that just came out this year. And now it says if you do not sign, you are not allowed any benefits like grants for school or school loans or housing loans. It says the lady reads it out. You know that pretty much you lose all your rights if you don't sign up for the draft now. Why? Because they intend to draft you. And in Ukraine, they're now drafting from 14 to over 60. All right, which there's nothing new under the sun. If you go into World War One and Two, they had down to 12. One of the youngest men that got shot was a 12-year-old that was fighting for America. All right, and the oldest they have was up. They said they'll use even the people that are special needs, like Down syndrome, just to get rid of them. They'll send them to the war to die.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they're doing. It's a meat grinder. America's a war machine, and they get rich off the more people that they destroy. All right? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy to get rich. Their plan is to destroy America and get rich off of it. But really, they're going to end up in slavery from it. After they destroy their kingdom with nukes, because the Lord put it in their heart to do so, they're going to wake up in slavery under us.
A little bit more. Oh, I was just gonna say real quick that I don't know if you heard about it, but Trump just tariffed India. You know, they were I thought closer than they are now, but because he said that anybody goes to the BRICS, he's gonna sanction.
Which India is part of BRICS.
Yeah.
That's the I in BRIC. And you know, the other day I believe I said it wrong, but I said S was for Spain, but that's actually for South Africa. But if you look up where the headquarters of BRICS is, it's in Spain. And Spain is one of the allies of America.
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Headquarters of Spain. I'm sorry. Headquarters for BRIC nations. Which it tells you that it's in. They got one in Shanghai, Moscow. Let me see. BRICS meetings in Spain. Yeah, 6G. Let's see. Let's see, BRICS. It says okay. Go ahead if you got more.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8, KJV. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Which Esau is going to be eventually made extinct.
One more here. Says Obadiah 1 verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob's shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Forever. That it?
Yeah.
Because it caught my attention because Trump did the same thing. He said Spain was with BRICS, but it said Trump mistakes Spain for a member of the BRICS bloc and repeats the threat of massive tariffs against Spain. All right, but what it was South Africa is the actual S in BRICS. Okay? But I wanted to pull this up real quick just to show. Let me see. BRIC nations allied with Spain deals. Let me see.
I got another one.
Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, beginning at verse 14, ESV. strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord power. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of power, that no root of bitterness spring up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled, that no one is sexually immoral or unholy, like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. For you know that afterwards, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears.
In tears, because the Esau knows that he don't have no future, and that's why he's gonna come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. You see, so in Euro News, it says Russia expanded BRICS meeting sends jitters around Europe, because he's trying to get these other nations to turn his back on America and go with the BRIC nations. This is why Trump, even himself, mistakenly claims Spain is part of BRICS, because really, under the cover, they're already betraying America, the whore. As it's prophesied, they're going to actually destroy America with nuclear missiles with the BRIC nations. The NATO nations are going to ally up with the BRIC nations, and they're going to shoot nuclear missiles on this whore, America. But with that, we give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem Ha Quadash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba.